Hi everyone, welcome. It is 10 a.m. We are about to start our webinar. We are so excited. Of course, we'll just give a little bit of time for people to roll on in. Awesome, I'm seeing more people join. Great to see everyone.
Probably because I'm back here. I look, it's just like really, I'm in a different chair. I look really short.
Welcome, welcome. We'll give everyone just a minute or so to join.
Hold this off for a second.
Okay, we're having more people join. Welcome. Okay, we'll just give it a little bit more time. We have a pretty fun opening question, and so I want everyone to be able to participate. Let's give it a little bit more and then we can get started. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started with our question. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so we wanted to start off this webinar, just kind of breaking the ice, having a little bit of fun before we really dive into all the content. And so we'd really love some participation here. But we'd love if you want to post in the chat, what's your favorite dog breed and why? Lots of different types. Could be the dog you own, could be a dream dog breed. So post in the chat. We'd love to see your answers. But I'll go ahead and get it started. My favorite dog breed is the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. I had one growing up. His name was Captain, and he was just the most easygoing dog. They were bred to be lap dogs, which is kind of my bread and butter, just hanging out, sitting on the couch, and just kind of going along and wanting to just sit amongst everyone. So that is definitely my favorite dog breed. Still have a special place in my heart, and I hope to get a Cavalier one day again.
I like that. Do you want me to go?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, my favorite one is a German Shorthair Pointer. And it's the dog that I grew up with. Her name was Holly, and she actually just passed away, but she lived to be 18. So long, awesome life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a favorite, but I do have a Husky and an Australian Shepherd Husky mix. So I guess I can be partial to them.
Oh, so cute.
I do like the fluff. I don't know if it's just because I have long haired dogs that being at work now, when I pet a short haired dog, it just doesn't feel right.
I actually really agree with that. I love running my fingers through some furry hair.
It's just like you just pet him and like, wait, this is something's missing here.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'll read some answers from the chat. And by the way, we'll be going over introductions, of course. I'm Emily. I'll dive in a little bit more into my role at Community Boost. But this is Sam and Dominique from Humane Society of Northeast Georgia. So again, we'll be doing a little bit more formal introductions, but wanted to put some names to the faces here. But I'll go ahead and read some of the answers. We have actually a lot of Chihuahua answers. Gary, they're always challenging is his reason for liking Chihuahuas. Katie likes Chihuahuas because they're adorable and tiny. Let's see. Sandy says pugs because they're cute and have an attitude. I love that. Hannah says Pomeranians because they're just sweet little fluff balls. So resonating with the fluffiness. Let's see what other ones. Susan says white German Shepherds are the goofiest, sweetest dogs ever, smart and independent and bed hogs. Yeah, raise your hand. Not that we can really see, but raise your hand if your dogs sleep in the same bed and take over the whole thing. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for participating. There are a lot of answers here. Debbie says Doberman Pinscher. They're loyal to the ninth degree. They love family, and often are considered a scary breed, but they're so loving. That's awesome. Her dog Mocha was a community ambassador at her humane society, and came from animal control and seeked out people who needed her. That's so sweet. Thank you so much for sharing that. I love it. Okay. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for participating in that fun little opening icebreaker. We all, can relate on this common topic and also on the topic of digital marketing, which is exactly why we're here. And we're so excited to kind of dive in and meld these two worlds together. And we're so excited to have Sam and Dominique here again from Humane Society of Northeast Georgia. I'm really excited to dive into this content. So again, thank you everyone for joining our webinar. It's Raining Cats and Donations, How to Craft a Perfect Digital Strategy for Your Humane Society. So just some housekeeping items first. We would love for you to connect with us. Please ask any questions in the Zoom Q&A chat window. We will be getting to them at the end. We have a time reserved for just talking through individual questions, so don't worry, we'll get to those at the end. You can also connect with us on social media. We have the Humane Society of Northeast Georgia Facebook and Instagram, and also Community Boost handle as well. And then you can always schedule time to talk with us at Community Boost, communityboost.org/let's talk. We would love, love, love to hear from you. And something that we're really proud of and excited about is our group, the Digital Marketing for Nonprofits Facebook group. So please, please join. It's just a great way to get engaged with other nonprofits and digital marketers who are really on the cutting edge of digital marketing right now, especially as we enter into year end. Awesome. So now we'll go ahead and do some introductions. Be your host today. My name is Emily Fisher. I'm a senior consultant here at Community Boost. My bread and butter is with Google Ads, specifically the Google Ad Grant. I truly just love all things search and Google. And so I'm really excited to be here. I've worked really closely with Sam and Dominique and the Humane Society of Northeast Georgia. And so just really excited to share the stage with them today.
Okay. I'm Dominique. I'm the marketing manager at the Humane Society of Northeast Georgia. I have been here for about a little over 2.5 years, and it's my first time in a animal shelter role, but it's been really fun getting to know all the animals and different ways to market them and help them and the other animals in our community.
I'm Sam, or Samantha. I'm the development director. I've been here for 5 years. And I'm excited to see how much our development and marketing program has grown in the past 5 years, and recently, joining with Community Boost, it's grown even more. So we're excited to share that and how they've helped us, and hopefully can help you.
Awesome, thanks so much. So I just wanted to share a little bit about Community Boost. Our mission is to empower social ventures changing the world. And we're just so excited to work with a whole variety of nonprofits. You can see below some of our trusted partners: ICF, Liberty Ellis Island Foundation, Diane Fossey Gorilla Fund, USA Basketball, the Trevor Project, San Diego Foundation, and then Humane Society. We work with several, of course, Humane Society of Northeast Georgia, and we just love working with different humane societies. It's just so fun to work on those accounts. And just want to give some of our impact and numbers. In 2019, we served 186 nonprofits directly, and we're able to just partner with those nonprofits and generate $7.5 million in online revenue. And that's exactly why we are here every day, just trying to raise money and awareness and engagement for the causes that matter most. Okay, take it away.
Okay, we're just going to give a little background so you guys can kind of see where you compare to what we have going on. So we were founded in 1913, so we're 108 years old. We're in the same place that we started, Gainesville, Georgia. And we are a selective admission shelter. We rescue about 1,500 animals a year, and that's owner surrender and pulling from other shelters and animal controls. I think we serve like 30 other counties around us in Georgia. We do have 3 different service lines. So we have a healthy pet clinic, which is low-cost vaccines to public animals. We also have a low-cost spay-neuter center. And then, of course, our adoption and rescue side of things, which is mostly what our fundraising and marketing goes to help. And we have 32 employees, and 4 of us are in the marketing development department. So just to give you an idea.
Awesome. So just going over today's agenda. So first, we'll just be covering how Humane Society of Northeast Georgia was able to use Facebook to consistently fundraise and grow their digital presence, even through a crazy year and a pandemic. And then also how they're able to use the Ag Grant to drive awareness and valuable adoptions. And then also how they're able to use conversion design to convert existing on-site traffic and fundraise more effectively for bigger campaigns. And then, like I mentioned, we will have time at the end for questions and answers, just kind of have a chat and just kind of talk about strategies and anything we went over in this presentation. Okay, so it's been said quite a few times, and we all know how crazy year 2020 has been. You know, you've potentially furloughed staff. You know, you've been running donation appeals probably all year long, even if it hasn't been all year long. We had an unprecedented Giving Tuesday in May, the first time that ever happened in the spring, which was so exciting, but that also means that people are opening up their pockets and their wallets twice now for these 2 big giving seasons. You know, you've potentially also fought tooth and nail to keep your organization alive. I know there's probably a lot of people out there who are single person marketing departments, 2 people, or just small departments who are really having to fight to their boards and just to the rest of the team to really, you know, show the impact of digital marketing and how it can actually be raising funds in this crazy time to help keep the organization alive. Again, we're just in a pandemic. There's a civil rights revolution. There's election this year. Just a lot of things happening, all while the demand for your services has never been higher. Again, we can't necessarily see, but raise your hand if you know at least 5 people who adopt during this time, because I know I definitely have people in my circle who were looking for animals to adopt during this time. And it's kind of just a crazy year where there's a lot going on, and you know, a lot of funds are needing to be raised, but you're also, you know, people are needing your services more than ever. So it is just a crazy time to be here, but oftentimes the obstacle is the way. We've just seen that time and time again at Community Boost. And for our own Humane Society, we've been able to use better digital fundraising to consistently drive adoptions, donations, and get in front of new supporters. And that's exactly why we're here. That's what we're going to go over. And you know, we're heading into year end where a lot of the fundraising is still going to happen. You know, this is again unprecedented. We already had a Giving Tuesday in the spring, but we're still diving into year end the same way that we always do, just really focusing on finding new supporters, reach people that have already given before, especially this year, and just kind of continuing with our best in practice strategies to have the same, if not better, year end success. It's the same, John. Away.
Okay, so we wanted to give you guys kind of, I mean, I'm not going to read our mission statement. I feel like everybody's is probably fairly similar, but we are in Gainesville, Georgia, which is 45 minutes north of Atlanta. I mean, like I said, we serve a lot of areas around us all the way into South Georgia. But we wanted to point out that, you know, over the past couple of years, we've really built up our marketing and development program. So we use MailChimp, Fundraise, Little Greenlight. These are all of the development side of things that are super helpful to us. And then we've got the marketing side.
Yeah, so we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We also use Canva, Photoshop Elements, Premiere, LumaFusion, and iMovie for our collateral. And I thought it was important to talk about that because it really kind of goes into for the goals of digital fundraising, and how we create everything that goes with that.
And we did just start using Community Boost about over a year ago, right, Emily? I think it was August of last year. So, you know, and we've grown a lot in the past 5 years, but really in that last year, we've seen a lot of growth too. And I equate a lot of that to you guys. So thank you.
Of course. Yeah, it's always so exciting when we can work with a partner for so long. We're coming into our second year end and just seeing season the growth there. It's a privilege and an honor for sure. So yeah, today we're really going to be going over results from several campaigns, for different goals, whether it's fundraising, signups, adoptions, and engagement, and really just kind of showing how we have used digital during a pandemic. I'm using a really consistent strategy, going over the ad grant, how to spend all the $10,000 per month, and then consistently hitting 2 to 4 return on ad spend with Facebook, and then just consistently optimizing campaigns, testing and learning. Of course, we want numbers to back all this up. We want to see the results there. But sometimes the learnings and the insights that you can get from digital marketing that often transfer over to other areas of your nonprofit can be extremely valuable. And so, yeah, these are just the 3 main channels for digital growth for Humane Society of Northeast Georgia: Facebook and Instagram, the Google Ad Grant, and then conversion design. Sam and Dom, I don't know if there's anything that you want to add here.
We just noted that you guys have been great in helping us choose the specific campaigns and working with us to figure out which ones go best on what platforms. Because, the Google Ads Grant is more generic and sign up and program based, where our Facebook and Instagram is more like fundraising, adoptions, and a lot of stuff that really focuses on imagery, and just the conversion design has been great. All of our pop-ups and the welcome mats, which I guess we'll probably talk about a little bit later.
Yeah. And we wanted to note too, I didn't know if you were going to talk about this, Emily, but they're awesome. We have a monthly meeting with Emily, and we we definitely go over our entire plan for the next month or two. So for year end, or back a month ago, we'll talk about an event we have coming up, and we kind of just tell them all the things that we have, and then her team will kind of pick what needs to be done on which platform, and how to best support those different campaigns. So it's awesome.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, it's so important for that partnership to just have an alignment meeting every month. Oftentimes you just can get so caught up in email and just other messaging that it just kind of it gets lost, the face-to-face contact, I guess, and just kind of talking through ideas, really almost like taking a whiteboard brainstorming. Yeah, super important, especially for year end. That thing that we definitely encourage all of our partners to start thinking about really early in the year, even just in August, come up with different themes for landing pages, because we really an approach where you're using multiple tiered strategies to get to the kind of the final countdown of December to Giving Tuesday and to really the hard pushes for donations. But a lot of that work really comes in October and November, when you're just trying to find new donors to add to that pool, really get your message out. Also thank donors that given to you, or anyone who's participated with your organization during that entirety of the year. So really important to get that started pretty quickly, and that's exactly why we love to have those alignment meetings, so that we can kind of schedule things months in advance. It's a really important point. Awesome. So first, we're going to dive into Facebook and Instagram ads. Dom, I would love for you to just talk about any goals or any background into Facebook before I kind of get into these specific strategies and numbers.
So before we partnered with Community Boost, we really were just organic, and maybe we like boosted a post, and we tried to dabble in year-end or bigger campaign ads, and honestly weren't very successful at it. So we kind of just stuck with our organic side. And when we partnered with Community Boost, you know, their expertise really helped us figure out the best things or marketing collateral to put on Facebook and Instagram, who to target it to, because audience is very important. With the paid ads, you can hone in and specifically target on who you want that message to get to, basically. Because if you're just pumping out messages to the wrong people, it's not going to be effective. And Community Boost has really helped us with that. And I think our remarketing campaigns, I think, have been really, really successful. Just getting that person who kind of showed interest, and then keeping them top of mind.
It's like when you leave stuff in your cart.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're still here.
And then I got an email from Julia Campbell today, and I thought it was important to share. She made a good point. And it was, her email was talking about how some people are just like, oh, I don't know how to share our message. People don't know about us. We don't have cute puppies. Everyone always says we don't have cute puppies, but really what you want to get across is to people is you want them to know you, like you, and then trust you. You can't get to the trust part, so making a donation or adopting from you, until they know you or like you, which Community Boost does a great job in putting those ads out there. Instead of, you know, it could be a donations campaign, but the button doesn't say donate, because that person in that audience doesn't necessarily trust you yet. So going into those ads, you have to learn how to build that know us, like us, trust us 3-step process.
Yeah, that is so important. Yeah, exactly. And that kind of speaks to the point of just starting early, especially for year end, where you can get out messages that, aren't just all of a sudden, please donate.
Yeah.
You're able to send out messages that are a little bit more informational, a little bit more, thanking people for their support. And for new people, just letting them know what you're about. So that is such a good point.
Because even even those adoption campaigns, it doesn't say like adopt today. It just says learn more, because maybe that person doesn't necessarily trust us to come adopt from us yet, and they just want, like, okay, maybe I will learn more, and then it just starts the process.
Yeah, exactly. People are so used to being asked to do something. If it's, pretty typical e-commerce, it's buy this, buy that, take this action. And so it's actually very refreshing for people to have just kind of more control over at least the call to action that they get from ads of, okay, I'm going to learn more because I want to, and then I will eventually take that action. Or if they're being thanked, how many people get an ad where they're not being asked to do anything? It really does stand out. And so that's super important. That's a really great point. And I really want to dive into kind of the specifics of that and how you really execute that strategy. The bigger point is really telling a story that catches attention and stands out. Part of that is really captivating creative. So we put here, no one can resist puppy eyes. And like Dominique pointed out, a lot of people think, oh, we don't have the cutest puppies or like the cutest puppies, but even just having high quality images. I mean, come on, these 2 dogs on the right, they are so adorable. Really, through the high quality images, get to almost like see their personalities and feel them there. And so that's something that Humane Society of Northeast Georgia does such a good job with. I mean, their photos are really top notch, very professional. They just have a lot of images for us to choose from. It makes our job way easier. And they're also very on brand. They are very consistent with their colors, with their messaging, with the language that they use across Facebook and their website. And so that really is how you get people to trust you and like you. If you have this consistent brand, that's something that I just really want to tip my hat to your team, just really consistent on that. And then
I was going to say, like, we value the fact that all the animals in our ads are actually our animals and pictures that have been taken here. We don't ever use stock photos. So
except for puppies, that's fine.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And I think definitely well investment in terms of time and just however much that takes. I think it makes a difference. And then going over just the targeting, kind of this tiered system that I had mentioned. you really are wanting to spend about half of your budget on your own audience. And this is just really important. A lot of times the bigger goal is to find new donors. And of course, that's really important, but you really want to just kind of hit the low-hanging fruit first, especially I keep saying this during this year where people have already given in spring, and there's also so many other causes that are happening right now that your supporters might have already donated to them, or those causes that they supported early in the year are reaching back out to them. So we always like to say here at Community Boost that your donors are not your donors, but especially this year, it is so important. There are a lot of causes that are vying for people's attention, rightfully so, but we also just want to remind people why they've supported Humane Society in the past, why they've been part of your family, and why they should choose to continue to be part of that family by supporting now and through 2021. So that is actually a huge portion of the budget that we like to allocate just to kind of hit that low-hanging fruit. And then about 25% of that budget can go to remarketing and friends of followers. Remarketing is huge. We see that audience perform really well across the board with all of our partners. We know that it takes multiple touch points for people to actually convert. And that's again why we are fine having some ads that are a little bit more informational, not with a very direct donate now call to action, at least at first, because we know that people will have to be hit a few ads, or even if it's not just all Facebook ads, they might be served an ad and then they will type in something to Google and be served an ad grant ad. And we just know that it requires multiple touch points. And so that's why we definitely invest in remarketing and also friends of followers, because it's kind of that degree of separation, but there's definitely some commonality with the people that already follow you. And then about 25% can go to that expansion. We definitely encourage trying to find new donors through Facebook. So using interest audiences, lookalike audiences, you're really still very honed in on your targeting people who are interested in animal organizations, people who look like your existing supporters. So it definitely still has a very honed in strategy, but you are trying to build that pool for your remarketing. And it's important when you're doing remarketing to use different creative. So for people who visit for adoption versus donation versus volunteer, you can really hyper target your copy depending on who you're trying to target. If people already know who you are because they're engaged in your social or they've been engaged with ads before, you don't need to have as much information. Then you can go into kind of a harder call to action to donate. But again, for new people, you might want to just enroll them in the mission first. And just noting that 3 to 5 times return on ad spend is very possible. It can be kind of scary at first when you're putting in money to a platform that you haven't used before, but through these strategies, and really hyper targeting, you can expect that on Facebook. And so this is just a sample donations campaign. Again, we are pretty evergreen in our donations campaigns. We're kind of in this cycle of asking for donations, not only during year end with Northeast Georgia, but especially this year, it's been up to quite a bit. So just giving an example of this donation campaign, we were able to spend $492 and bring in $1,000 worth of donations. We were able to reach 16,000 new people and get 1,000 link clicks. And then the post shares are huge here too. A lot of times, post shares, engagement can kind of be viewed as vanity metrics, but in this case, just really building that engagement, having the people who share this ad kind of do the work for you and spread the word through their Facebook feeds, it's really important. And there's also so many more donations that we probably are not able to report on here because when someone creates a post off of an ad, that becomes organic. We can't then track the donations that happen through that post share. So the impact is probably much greater because of those 500 post shares. But we were able to track 11 brand new donors and then 2 times return on ad spend. So we're really excited. Sam and Dom, is there anything else that you wanted to add to this?
Well, for us, it would with the ad spend, it was kind of hard to, and I think we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but talking to our board about it, because we increased our marketing budget almost by we doubled it, and having these monthly meetings and seeing that all those results really shows how important they are. Sometimes, those vanity metrics is a little harder to explain. But if you know the importance behind it, it becomes easier, because as you progress with these ads and continuously see them building new donors, bringing back maybe donors who maybe haven't given in a while, or just your consistent donors, your key audiences, really engaging with them. It's just it's been great to see in the last year, and especially during the shutdown, and through all this COVID stuff. It's really it helps you. Sorry, top of mind is what I'm trying to say. Is you're spending,
it keeps top of mind.
Yeah,
for
you're
people,
spending money to not only get your message out there, but make your message top of mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. People have short attention spans, so they definitely need to be reminded a few times. We'll definitely not retain one ad. It often takes a few. So that's a good point. Okay, I just want to dive into the Google Ad Grant to kind of keep things going. So with the Google Ad Grant, you're maximizing a free $10,000 a month in Google ad spend. We have an example here on the right side of an ad that we have running in Northeast Georgia, and then just a graph showing the clicks versus costs from August 2019 up until October 2020. And so a lot of times it can be difficult to spend the full 10,000 if you're such a local organization. It's obviously quite a bit easier for an organization that's running ads nationally, because that just ups the amount of search volume and potential keywords that you can go after. And so a lot of times it can be tricky for local organizations, but luckily you're all in a space where people every single day are searching a lot for where to adopt animals, whether that's cats or dogs. And again, we've really actually seen that increase during the pandemic, where a lot of other industries search volume has gone down, maybe for theaters or symphonies or museums, but you're in such a unique space where the demand is actually quite high. And so that's the way that you can really utilize the $10,000 a month, not only going after adoption ads, but of course, if you have volunteer opportunities, that's something that is really important. And oftentimes your services can be something that's a little bit overshadowed with adoptions, but you're providing services for people in your community for their pets at oftentimes a really affordable price. And so that's really important to just meet people where they're at when they're looking to spay or neuter their animal, or they've lost an animal and they need to be connected to kind of an online forum. And so you're doing a lot of other work besides adoptions, and that's how you can really you can reverse engineer what your audience is searching for. So again, that could be in the adoption realm of pet adoptions in Georgia or your specific location, dog shelter. A lot of times it's okay if you don't want to use those terms in your ad copy, but you can always just still keep those as keywords and see if people are searching for a shelter. You would still want to have those keywords in your account, but you can use your own copy that you want to use there. Also, people might be searching for animal relief charities or any way that they can donate to animals. You really just want to meet those people with a Google ad. And that's how you can send thousands of potential supporters to your site every month for free. And it's so valuable, not only just to get people to the site, but it also helps with other strategies. We talked about Facebook remarketing being such a big strategy there. Well, you can use the Google Ad Grant to drive a lot of those newer people to your site where they just typed in adopt a dog near me. They didn't know that they wanted to go to the Humane Society. They get to your site, and then all of a sudden they're added to a remarketing list in Facebook, and then they get served an ad, a day later after they had searched for adopt a dog near me. And now you're just consistently top of mind through all these channels. And then they can always come back to your website now that they know about you, and they type into Google Humane Society of Northeast Georgia, then they can also get to your site again and just really complete that action. And so we like to see all of our channels working together, Google and Facebook, just kind of helping each other out, building those lists. But Sam and Dom, is there anything else that you wanted to add here?
Yeah, I was going to say that over the years, we consistently were at a certain level of website traffic, and it's doubled since we started doing the Google ads the right way. And just to note too, I feel like all of us have like marketing, everybody has different backgrounds and stuff, but I will say the Google ad was way over our head, and we were trying for a year to make it happen and still were unsuccessful. And so that's really why we came to Community Boost at the beginning. And obviously there's more perks to you guys, but this has been a huge thing for us because it was just something that we were just not it was not happening for us. So
Yeah, they got it off the ground.
They don't
Yeah.
make it easy. Google doesn't make it easy. So if you have it in your budget, pay them to do it for you because it's not easy.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely always encourage people to try it out, and we have a lot of content for anyone who wants to try and take it on. But yeah, it is a big responsibility for sure, and a lot of times it isn't something that can just be handed, to an intern to work on once a month, and a lot of times you have so many other responsibilities as, again, usually small marketing teams. And so this is just something that we definitely love to do and love to take off your plate, because we absolutely love just going into the account and seeing how we can improve and expand in other areas. And so it is something that you don't want to just kind of push off to the side. It definitely requires being in the account, making changes, expanding where you can. So we're super excited to be doing this for you. Okay, so just diving into some conversion design. So you can see an example on the top here. We have a smart bar that goes across the entire page. And then we have an example of a scroll box for email collection. And this is really just to convert existing on-site traffic. So again, we're using all of our channels together. We're driving people to the site through Facebook and through the ad grant. And then once they get there, we just kind of want to give them some shortcuts. So, if we're really pushing for adoptions, we can use this smart bar to just let them know really quickly where they can go to look at the current adoptable pets. We also want to keep people engaged and just have an option for them to opt into a newsletter through the scroll box. You can also use this scroll box to deliver someone a lead magnet if you have a guide on vaccinations or just any content that you can give them. You can always have them opt in to receive something that oftentimes increases conversion rates, because people like to be getting something from entering their information. And so it is really also important on this side to, if you're promising a newsletter or a lead magnet, to really deliver it and keep people engaged. Of course, we know how important email marketing is. That's not something that we're necessarily diving into in this webinar, but definitely important to be consistent if you're offering something through a scroll box to really deliver there. And again, this just having these emails, you're also able to build your lists in Facebook. I just can't say enough how these channels all work together to try and just kind of keep people involved and engaged. And so this is, again, really important for people who aren't yet ready to donate or adopt. You can kind of warm them up a little through email. You can also use specific campaign pop-ups or welcome mats. We've used a lot of these for donations. We really like to use welcome mats during year end. We use them a little bit more exclusively because welcome mats cover the entirety of the page. So you have to interact with it, either exit out of it or complete the action for it to go away. And so it's very, very intrusive, but effective if you have a little bit stronger call to actions for donations. And so it's definitely something that we like to use during year end, especially because you can use more creative. You can see on the smart bar, we do have the tiny little circle with the picture, but it definitely is, obviously more prominent in the scroll box. And then with the welcome mat, it's really prominent. You have a lot of opportunity for high quality pictures, and then also a lot of more opportunity for creative and copy as well. Sam and Dom, do you want to add anything here?
Just that all of the conversion design elements have been great in the last year. We've seen a huge increase in our e-newsletter subscribers. It's aided in, I don't have the number for all the donations, but it's definitely helped out in that way. And I do want to point out that even though we're promoting this conversion design here, while we're working with all the touch points, so going from social media to our website, or you can not, like, we've asked you to, hey, like, let's exclude the pop-up from this page, because we know that we're running an ad for a donation, we don't want them to get to the donation page and then get prompted for the e-newsletter, sign up for the e-newsletter, not donate. So that just goes with working with everything, and it's been really great for us though.
Mhm. Yeah, no, that's a really good point. You can definitely, depending on the tool you use, with the tool we use, we can customize what pages, the elements are shown on. You can have them end on a certain date, so you don't have to remember to turn it off. You can, just kind of exclude certain traffic. You can also say, don't show this element if someone has been to the site in the last day. So you're not necessarily showing a pop-up every single time they hit the site. That's kind of the image that a lot of us have when we think of pop-ups, but there's definitely a way to do it that's not the kind of annoying in your face way. It's still keeping you top of mind, giving them a little nudge to do something, but not too forceful.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. And then just kind of going over the conversion design for year end in 2019, something that we really like to do in every single channel is A/B testing. You really don't want to just put out the ads you think are going to work. You want to have a variety and then optimize from there, see what actually is working, use that version and make a new one based off of that. Because sometimes, your messaging is on point. It's exactly what you thought it would be. But then sometimes you can try wording things a little bit differently. Conversion rates are a lot higher. And now you have this learning to transfer over again into email, direct mail, other areas of your marketing efforts. And then campaign branding is really important. Like I said, Northeast Georgia is just so great with their branding. Last year we had, a specific dog that they were using. I think Siva.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my mom's dog.
Oh, so cute.
She's a rescue.
She was like the campaign kind of theme or mascot, and so that was consistent across all of their efforts. And so anyone who got the message for year end and for Giving Tuesday, it was very consistent, and they recognized Siva, and so it just kind of really ties everything together. And then also at Northeast Georgia, they have the season of saves for their campaign theme, which is really important. It's not 100% necessary, but it also really helps. Again, if you're kind of putting that theme, season of saves, into people's minds, that's something that they can come to expect every year, or just know that that's a whole thing that's happening and that they can get involved with during November and December.
And we call her it's an ambassador dog.
Ambassador dog. Yeah, that's definitely better than a mascot. Ambassador. That's also something, in Northeast Georgia, you guys are so good at coming up with really cute names and ideas. And right, for adoption month, you're doing a Harry Potter theme, and just the puns in your copy were out of this world.
I think we go too far sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes I think we get a little over our head, but it's fine.
We love it. And so I want to kind of keep things moving so we have time for questions, but just wanted to give kind of one last example here of how multiple channels came together to really drive signups and donations for this event, the Adoption Angel Lock-In. If you want to just give a little background to this event, that would be awesome.
So it's essentially, we ask people to be locked up for good, and they're literally locked in a kennel. And we create a peer-to-peer fundraising page for them. So we normally start in August, but because of COVID, it was September. But around National Dog Day, it ends on National Dog Day normally. So for the whole month of August, or essentially for an entire month, people are fundraising online for the month, and then they end up in the kennel if they want to, and they raise their bail. And it's been super successful. But this year we kind of dove headfirst with Community Boost, and it was awesome. They helped us get so many more signups for the actual people being locked up. And we had 5 out-of-state people sign up to be locked up for good. And even we had a random $400 gift from some lady in Nebraska who saw our ad and she literally waited to get paid to make the donation, but it was all because of an ad she saw on Facebook. So this year it was even better. We raised $12,000 more than normal, and I think Community Boost was huge in helping with that. The event is $80,000, just to give you an idea. So
yeah, this was so fun, and peer-to-peer fundraising is definitely something that we encourage a lot at Community Boost, and this was really fun to kind of have this 2-tiered goal here of fundraiser sign-up. So we were able to get 99 through Facebook ads, spending $545. And then we were able to get 139, we could say outbound donation clicks, just because the actual fundraising was on their donation platform. So we weren't able to track that through Facebook. But of course, you had those numbers in the back end there. But through Facebook, 139 outbound clicks for people to donate to those peer-to-peer fundraisers. And so the reach was about 33,000 people. Again, we did get some out-of-state people in there, and we're able to drive 1,000 people to the pages. So this was definitely a fun, unique event that we were able to help with this year, and we're so excited that it, was so successful.
And I forgot one thing I think is worthy of noting is we only had 127 people sign up, and so 99 of those came from our ads.
Mm-hmm.
And they're, some of them were returning pin mates, but some of them were brand new. So that's a substantial number compared to the total.
Yeah, I know, that's so exciting. And again, these are all just people that you're able to still ask for support for at the end of the year. And, if you do it in a way that you're recognizing, you've already done so much this year, you created a fundraiser, and even people who donated to fundraisers, acknowledging what they've already done and saying, if you can, please continue that support for the end of the year. And then also in 2021, we love having you on our team. So there's definitely a way that you can reach those people again, do it in a way that really encourages them to keep getting involved. So just a quick recap here. Again, I want to leave some time for questions. So, really using Facebook and Instagram ads to have hyper-targeted creative, reaching potential pet adopters or donors, really being able to use that imagery and kind of unique creative to capture them. And then the Google Ad Grant to get a lot of people to your site, people who have these needs for adoption services, even donations, using relevant keywords, and Google's free ad spend to get people there through the ad grant, and then on-site conversion design to really bring all those people who are getting to your site to make the specific action that you're wanting, whether it's an email sign up for them to view the available adoptable pets or actually donate. So just using all those channels together is very important for your strategy. So I definitely want to go over some questions here. Just a reminder that we do have a free one-on-one Humane Society digital strategy session between yourself and Community Boost. So you can schedule that at communityboost.org/let's talk. And this kind of sums it up, how you feel before your one-on-one strategy, and then this dog on the right, how you feel after your one-on-one strategy. I promise you will be so happy and excited. So definitely feel free to visit that link and get connected. So let's go ahead and dive into any questions here. Okay. 1 second. Okay, I might have to stop sharing my screen. Let me just see if that works. Okay, here we go. So just a reminder, this is being recorded and you will get sent out a link to the recording. So if you had to leave early, no problem. If you have to pop off now, and you will be getting a recording with this whole presentation. Okay. So let's see, we have a question. Can you speak to the relationship between Community Boost and the shelters, the costs associated, what are the specific services? We do offer a variety of services. We talked about Facebook, conversion design, and ad grants here. We also do work with email marketing, SEO, CRO, a lot of other services as well. And, if you connect with us and go to communityboost.org/let's talk, we can talk a little bit more specifically about what your organization is, how we can work with that, what your specific needs are. We can definitely tailor our services to your budget and kind of what will make the biggest impact and get you the biggest bang for your buck. And so, we work with Humane Society of Northeast Georgia. We work with the Hawaiian Humane Society and Humane Society of Southern Arizona. So definitely some others that we work with, but we can definitely give some more case studies and information in our one-on-one strategy session.
I just want to throw in there that I really liked that they offer, what was it, a 3-month kind of trial or like start you off the ground period. And we really liked that. We weren't locked in for a really long period at first. And then after 3 months, we loved it, so we decided to keep going. But there is a short-term, option, so you can kind of test the waters and get your board on board and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a super good point. Yeah, we call it our lift-off program, where we're getting a lot of things set up. A lot of that includes tracking. We get so many partners who come in and don't have analytics or GTM, or haven't set up Facebook pixel tracking within Facebook. And so it's really just important to really start there. Make sure you know what you're tracking, and if you're not measuring anything, you don't know where that ad spend is going, if you're getting a positive return on ad spend. And so a lot of our liftoff program is really just setting a solid foundation with tracking, and then also getting a good batch of ads for Facebook and especially Google ad grants. We typically set up at least 4 campaigns with 6 ad groups each, so that's hundreds of keywords, that's dozens and dozens of ads that really set a solid foundation. And then from there we can we can drive results, but then it's also seeing, okay, what platforms are working, what isn't working. Do we want to add display or YouTube here? Do we want to add SEO? So it is a really nice kind of introductory partnership that leads into kind of evaluating your overall digital strategy even more. So I have a question here. Is the conversion design pop-up service compatible across all web hosts? Yeah, it should be compatible across all web hosts. We haven't had a problem. There are some issues that we run into with email services being able to be connected, but for the most part, we don't have any problem. As long as we can get Google Tag Manager on the site, that's how we, at least with our conversion design tool, get it set up to appear on your site. So as long as we can get GTM, we typically don't have problems with web hosts. And let's see. So I have another question here. With Google Ads, would you want us to already have the ad grant, or would you walk us through the process of getting this? That's a great question. We definitely are here to help you get the ad grant. So we do have probably split 50-50. Half our partners already come in with the ad grant. That's how Northeast Georgia was. They just already had a pretty good foundation, but just needed an extra lift in optimizing it, really expanding into all the areas that they offer, and just kind of having someone to keep that on track. But we do have a good amount of partners that come in and they haven't applied for the ad grant. We're definitely here to help you with that, and we would take on that whole process of applying and getting approved for the ad grant. And that would be part of our liftoff program that I just mentioned. Okay. Let's see. Are there any other last minute questions? Otherwise, we can end a few minutes early, but definitely want to give the opportunity if there's anything else that you're curious about with Facebook strategy, conversion design, A/B testing, anything involving the ad grant. Just want to leave it open for just another minute or so.
There was one thing I forgot while we're waiting. So you mentioned like during the COVID real shutdown, so back in March through May, we did a campaign just around COVID, and we raised $80,000 more than we normally would during that time, and 60 of that was all online. And a lot of that was through ads and emails as well, but mostly some stuff that you guys have helped us with, and having the welcome ad on our website and all that stuff. So it's substantial amounts of money that are being raised, and you can't always equate it to exactly, the ads directly. But I know that I won our board over for it recently, which was a huge feat. And because I think we spend, a couple of grand a month, but it's totally worth it. So.
Yeah, that's a good point too. I mean, it's so good to hear. It's exactly why we do what we do every day. But it is important to look at your overall site traffic, look at your overall friend year over year, because a lot of times, we track as much as possible, as much as we can, but we only report on what we can actually say definitively happened through our ads. But there is so much that we're often underreporting in terms of just getting people to the site. Again, sometimes the paths can be 10 touch points, and our Facebook attribution can get a bit lost in there. And so a lot of times it does just require looking at the overall numbers, and you know, I personally love working with you, Sam and Dom, because you get it and you see just kind of the increase in all different areas besides just the hard numbers, and it really makes it accelerate those wins. I know that's a really good point. Still kind of waiting for any other questions, but I think that's it for today. If there aren't any other questions, then I think we'll go ahead and close out a few minutes early. But again, we're so thankful for all of you tuning in, and we hope that this was really valuable content. Again, we just want to wish you the best as you head into
Yeah.
the thick
Good
of
luck,
your
everybody.
let's see if there are any questions, but yeah, again, thank you so much for joining us. You'll get a link to this presentation, and we are so excited you're here. Have a great rest of your week, and we will talk to everyone later.
Bye.
Bye.